Pitch me your story in 1 minute or less. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and to the long-awaited episode 5. Here it is, the synopsis for the film. I hope you're excited. Are you excited for this, Rupert? Rupert says yes.
Now, if you want to go into this movie completely cold, not knowing anything about it, probably a good idea to just skip to the next video. But for everyone else, what you're about to hear will give you a very clear sense of the setup to our story. And as I was thinking about how to make my pitch to you, I kept seeing donuts. Not like the kind you buy out of a box or off a rack, but the kind like my friend Chris makes here to store Nauti donuts. Let me show you what I mean.
See, Chris did something brilliant. This was his first store, so he didn't try and reinvent the wheel. He simply took a food that everybody knows and did his best to elevate it in a unique way.
Which is exactly what we're aiming to do with our movie. See, this is my first feature, and my goal is simply to try to put a unique spin on a classic movie setup that I absolutely love and have always wanted to do my own version of.
You've seen it before in films like Parasite and The Shining, where characters are introduced to a place that seems normal on the surface, but reveals itself to be something entirely different.
This place is fantastic, isn't it, hon?
Alright, so you ready to hear our spin on that classic movie trope? Let's throw 1 minute on the clock and I will give you the elevator pitch for the setup to our movie. This is the first time I'm doing this. I'm excited.
So there's a young married couple living in New York City who are in a tough spot. They're barely making enough to stay afloat, the cost on everything is going up, the landlord is increasing their rent, and the husband just lost his job. Now they don't know how quickly he'll be able to find more work in his field or where they'll be able to move on just the wife's income, and for the first time they're thinking about homelessness not just in the abstract but as a real possibility. That is until they hear about an opportunity to be house sitters at an estate where, in exchange for a few months of what appear to be minimal tasks and upkeep, they'll be paid incredibly well and have all of their expenses covered. Obviously, the couple sees this as a chance to regroup and get on a more stable financial footing, so they take the job and away we go. But would you believe it? When they get to the estate, some very peculiar things start to happen. I mean, the community's great, and the house is really comfortable, but they can't quite shake the feeling that something's off, and that the house itself doesn't really feel like it's a home that's meant to be lived in. In fact, it begins to feel a lot more like a cage that's meant to prevent something dangerous from escaping. I guess the old saying's right. If something seems too good to be true, relax, that's just your paranoia talking.
Alright, so there you have it. In under a minute, the setup to our story, and I can't tell you how excited I am to see if we can pull this off. You think we can pull it off?
I think you might be able to, Nick.
Thank you, Chris.
No problem.
Now the question is, how do we build organically off of that setup toward revealing what it is that's going on with the house? It's a challenge that I'm really looking forward to jumping into in our next videos as we outline the screenplay. Geronimo.